All right, so I wanted to talk about the 11th hour list from the point of view of the manager. Some of us have reps who are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 away from 10K, and it can be sometimes hard for the representative to really believe that they can accomplish it. So yes, they have their 11th hour list, but they won't call them at the same level of intensity as if they were really sure that they can hit 10K. So I want to talk about how to do that. And it requires manager interaction, clearly. Step number one, you get the person on a Zoom call if possible. And here's the question that I prompt them. Are you open to me teaching you how I have taught others to hit a goal when they were sort of far away from it on the last day? If the person's like, I don't know if I can really do it, if you have other reps, move on to them. You want to work with the person that wants to go after this, not the person that you're trying to convince to even consider the concept. Now, if you only have one rep, well, you're going to do it anyways. Here's the process. The question you want to ask them is, I want you to pretend like it's 11:50 a.m. on the day of the conference. We only have 10 minutes left, and you're $50 away. You're at $9,950, adjusted to whatever push goal. Maybe it's dinner, maybe it's 20,000, whatever. You're $50 away. Are you telling me you're not going to hit the goal? No, I'm going to hit it. Now, if I told you that you couldn't buy it yourself, because that's always what they first think, who would be one person that you would call? If all you had to do was sell $50, I'm talking like a flippin' ice cream scoop. It's impulse McDonald's for a couple of people. Who would you call for 50? And then you take out an Excel spreadsheet and you put the person's name. And you're like, cool, who else would you call if that person didn't answer? And you start making a list of every single person that they would call if they had to sell $50, an ice cream scoop, a flippin' peeler, nothing. Maybe you can make a list of 10. Next, you go to vectorconnect.com. You click on that representative, their orders, and you toggle them, you filter them by highest CPO. You're like, hey, here's some other people that you maybe haven't thought about, and use that list of people they've already sold Cutco to increase that miracle finish list, 11th hour list, however you want to call it. The goal is, can you get to 10, 15, maybe 20 people on that list? And then you're like, okay, we're going to pretend like you don't want a Christmas gift this year. You don't want a birthday gift. Start from the top. Maybe the top is their mom. What do you think mom would really do? 50? You think she would do 75, 100? And maybe you'll get the 100s, the 150s, the 200s, and you go through each individual person and you get a number of what they think that person would buy. 50, 100, 150, even if it's just like, I can get a cutting board for them. And you try to go with every single person. Maybe it's a list of 20, and each person is ranked somewhere between $50 to $150. And then when you finish, you add it all up. And it's crazy. Sometimes the amount that all adds up to is what they're missing for their goal. Now, let's say that what they're missing for their goal is 3,000. That list comes up to 1,500. But you're like, great. Well, you don't have to sell $1,500 today. You have to sell 3,000 for today. You only have to sell 1,500. By telling them that the amount that they have to sell on demos that they might have is so much smaller, it sometimes gives them, there's a wasp. It sometimes gives them the confidence to go after those appointments with more veracity. And what's great is that sometimes they don't even need to actually make the 11th hour list phone calls to the same level. Because they're actual demos, because they go into those demos with confidence, they sell more. Now, let's say that they do actually have to make the 11th hour list phone call. Well, great, now you have a list of them to call, and you just try to help them come up with an ice cream scoop, maybe a fisherman's solution, maybe an entertainer pack, whatever they might need to make that the 150. And if the person's buying 50, be like, hey, Mrs. Jones, as part of my list, I kind of wanted to see if you might be able to get $100 today. Can I get you to get maybe one more knife? And if they can get each of those people to do it, what happens is they thought grandma was going to buy 100, grandma buys 300. They thought mom was going to buy 50, mom ends up buying 200. They never really have to do the whole list. What you're doing is you're buying their confidence by helping them make the list. And you need to catch up with them every hour of the day if you actually want them to follow through. Because if they call mom and grandma and they don't buy, they'll quit. So you have to keep them going to call the whole list all the way through, because what happens is if grandma didn't buy that much, but the whole list of it comes through and now they're $50 away, grandma will buy another 50. So you are systematically processing the orders with them and getting them closer and closer and closer They just need a couple of the small ones to become middle and a couple of the middle ones to become big. You have to drive them there.